Hello Stitchers, welcome back to West Virginia. My name is Cheryl and this is my channel Tranquil Stitches. It's Monday, June 11th, 2018 and this is my FlossTube episode number 10. 10 weeks of this madness and I'm loving every minute of it. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate every one of you taking time out of your day to spend a little time with me. I've had a really busy week, lots of activities going on, and I have to admit I am experiencing a Maynia hangover. Yeah, I have self-diagnosed myself, and if there are side effects to anything, I'm always the one that gets them, and I have a Maynia hangover. I tried some monogamous stitching this week and I couldn't focus. I could not focus. It seems like I just, you know, I would put a few stitches in and then I get distracted with something and then I would put it down. And, you know, I could have finished Union Forever this week. I could have finished it. And for just some reason, I just couldn't focus. So I'm hoping for a better week this week, stitching wise, and I'm gonna make it happen. But yeah, I don't know if I just needed a break or what, you know, from 31 days of 16 new starts, and it just I don't know if I just needed a break. Probably what it was, and anyway, but I did manage to stitch every day. I just didn't do very much each day. But it's been crazy, like I said, adjusting to Miss Penny Bella. We were told she was potty trained. She's not potty trained. So we've had a time with that. She's 2 years old, so it's not going to be easy to teach her that it's not okay. And my dining room is the room she chose, and it's been a struggle. And like I said, I'm just not interested. So she wants outside all the time. She's an outside dog. She's been outside her whole life, and so we've decided to put her in the yard. And he has secured the perimeter. She can't get out of the fence, and he's going to build her a house under the porch to where she's warm and dry and safe. And when winter comes and it starts getting cold, you know, she'll come in and we'll block off some doorways and do what we have to do. I'm not gonna let her be out there and be cold. But in the summer, like I said, it doesn't get extremely hot here. So, and she'll be under the porch in the shade, and then she'll have the whole yard to roam around in, so she'll be fine. She'll be fine. But I can't, and I'm not going to chain her up either. So, you know, she'll be fine. But she's a sweetheart. She's just so sweet. You know, you can talk to her and she just wags that tail so fast you think, you know, she's going to just lift off the ground. And she likes to stand up and hold her paws up, which is adorable. And she's a sweetheart. So we're happy to have her. It's just, you know, and I'm not buying puppy pads. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to deal with that mess every day, because I already have to clean the litter box and keep it clean, and it's too much. And my husband's gone a lot. He does a lot of things in the community, and you know, I don't know. Yeah, don't think I'm a bad person. I'm not. but anyway, that's that. I had an eye appointment this week and went in there absolutely sure I was going to get a prescription. Absolutely sure that he was going to tell me that I had glaucoma, or, you know, because apparently 6 years ago when I went to see him, he gave me a prescription and for some bifocals. I'm extremely farsighted, so I can't see anything close up. And I had those glasses for a couple years, wore them only for reading and stitching, and a couple years into it, they were sitting on a table and my son comes in. It was around Christmas time, and he just plops a heavy box right on top of them. and broke the ear the earpiece, and my husband glued it, and I wore them for a little while longer, and then it was just like, no, you know, they kept falling apart. And I always do things for myself last. We had other things going on that I prioritized before me. I always do that before I go to the dentist, before I go to the doctor. You know, I got to make sure everything else is taken care of first, and then I'll do what I have to do. And I've always been that way. So I put off getting the glasses and going back, and I just went back to readers, and you know, and so I was just sure that I was going to have a prescription. But doctor said my eyes are fine, my eyes are healthy, my vision is decreasing because I'm getting older. That's the only reason, and it will continue to decrease, he said. But I do not need a prescription at this point. Readers, what he could give me would be no stronger than any readers. So I'm wearing a 2.5 right now. I'm gonna move up to a 3. And I said, well, what about my stitching? I would like to be able to see that better. And he said, invest in a magnifier, get you a better magnifier. He said, because that, you know, really that's all we can do. And he was very thorough, so I trust him. He's been an optometrist for years and years and years. So if anybody has any recommendations of a good magnifier, I would really like to hear them, because I've not, you know, just little ones here and there. I've got some mag eyes that were my mother's, and they work, but I don't think the lenses in them are very strong. I've got 2 different lenses, and they're just not very strong. So I'm going to have to move up to something a little more, give me a better view. So if you're near farsighted and you stitch on smaller fabric, what do you use? Let me know in the comments so that I can start shopping around, because I'm going to have something. So, and then Kitten Stitcher, Teresa, hosted her sleepover on Friday night, and that was a lot of fun. I participated. I got some ice cream, which I hadn't. I'm not a big ice cream person, but sometimes I do like a bowl of ice cream. So I had my husband went and picked up. He got me one of the Nutty Buddies, and I just crushed it up in a bowl, and that's what I ate. I didn't want a whole half-gallon of ice cream. Do they even make half-gallons anymore? I think they're not even half-gallons anymore. But you know, all these rabbit holes. I'm sorry. I just ramble. But I had my bowl of ice cream, and then a little later on, I had a glass of wine and stitched and watched her live video, which was a lot of fun. She wasn't paying too much attention to the comments because she didn't want to get distracted, but those of us who were there were just answering questions and just typing and discussing amongst ourselves and listening to her, and it was a lot of fun. That video is still up. You know, you can still access that video if you didn't watch it, you know, on Friday night. So it was a lot of fun. We had a blast. So check that out. And then after the video was over, I lasted a half an hour, and then I was in the bed. You know, I can't hang anymore. I can't hang. Some nights I stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning because I'm stitching or I'm watching something that I don't want to stop watching, and boy, I pay for it the next day. So I just can't hang. I'm too old. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that she decides to do it once a month, because I will be participating. That was a lot of fun visiting with everybody on Instagram and on Facebook and watching the video and just hanging out. It was a lot of fun. So, and then Saturday, I needed to pick up some things for the tea party that I had yesterday. I've got a fan on me right now, if you hear any buzzing, and the air conditioner's on, and it is blowing my hair into my nose, and it's tickling my face. So I don't know if this is going to work or not. Oh my goodness, it's tickling. So anyway, I messaged my sister to see if she wanted to go with me. So we went to Walmart, and I needed some more fabric and some more zippers. And when we got there, Bernice wasn't there. And the lady who was cutting my fabric told me that Bernice is 90 years old. She's 90 years old. And she said that everybody had asked Bernice, you know, why don't you retire? Why don't you, you know, stay home and sew and do what you want to do? And she said that Bernice told them that if she retires, she'll die. And, you know, I believe there's some truth to that. Because when I first came back from Germany, I got a job at our local water company. And I took the place of a lady who had worked there for about 30 years. And she was retiring. She was retired 1 year and she died. After all that time. I do believe that you have to keep your mind active, and you have to keep you have to keep your brain working, and you know, because if you let that slow down, then you slow down. And I really do believe there's some truth to that. You have to keep yourself moving and keep active, and Miss Bernice knows that. So I'm just thankful she's here, and I'm thankful she's my friend, and I'm very blessed that she's such a good resource for me. And I talked to her about my problems of having with my sewing machine. Can't straight line for nothing. They're not bad, you know, they're not like, you know, the first bag was pretty bad, but I do need to practice and get a little better. And she just told me to slow down, basically. The biggest thing is slow down. She helped me find a marking pen, and she said this might help, and I'm going to try that this week. So, but each bag that I've made, I've got progressively better. So I'm tickled with where I'm at, you know, at this point. So, yeah, she's a sweetheart. My sister got to meet her, but while I didn't tell you, while the lady was cutting my fabric, Bernice came. She was actually there. She was at lunch, so she came back. And then later that evening, my sister and niece invited me to go to an estate auction at our local auction house, and I was tickled to death. We came home and got freshened up, and then the three of us took off, and we had a girls' night. We went to the auction, and my sister kept calling it a state auction, and I just listened to her I let her go for a while, and then later on in the evening, I corrected her and I said it's an estate auction. And she just, you know, I do that all the time to her. I rag her bad, and she just rolls her eyes and looks at me like, you know what I mean. And I didn't know what she meant, but I just got to rag her anyway. But oh my gosh, y'all, this auction, they must have cleared out an 80-year-old person's life homestead, because everything you can possibly imagine they had. It was unbelievable. Everything from furniture, rocking chairs, glassware. They had quilts, just beautiful quilts, crocheted Afghans. Everything was going so cheap, so cheap. It was tools, lawnmowers, weed eaters. You know, they had old plows and huge, those big logging saws that people are decorating with on their walls. Huge long saws. 15, 20 bucks. I'm not kidding y'all. I'm not kidding y'all. We first got there, we went up and looked around at what was being offered, and I just made a mental note of some things. I saw these two cast iron rabbits. They were about that tall, and the paint was chipping off of them, and it was a pair, and their little arms raised up and down, and I don't know if they were nutcrackers or doorstops or what, but they were just so super cool. And I was like, I'm interested in those. And you know, that stuff at auctions only worth what somebody's willing to pay for them. So I didn't know, you know, how the auction was going to play out. I didn't know if it was going to be $300 or $400 auction for a piece, or if it was going to be, you know. And then they had two butter dishes, covered butter dishes, and one was green and one was blue glass. They were older, and so those two things I picked out. So I'll be darned, like the second thing that they offered, I'm trying to get the auctioneer, I'm trying to get in tune to his voice and his pace, and trying to understand, you know, the bidding, you know, because each auctioneer is different, and you have to really pay attention and for the first little while so that you can get used to his style, basically. they put those bunnies up about the second or third item in, and I'm sitting there, I had my card, I was ready, and I was concentrating on what he was saying, and I thought I had all the time in the world, I guess. Next thing I knew, sold. And I held my card up right as he said sold, and he saw my card after it was too late. He had already said sold. Those bunnies went for $5 for both of them. $5 for both of them. You know, I brooded about those bunnies the rest of the night. I was so aggravated. I couldn't believe yeah, I was like, that just happened. So later on in the evening, I bought these two snow shovels for my husband. Nice metal snow shovels. And they had bundles. You know, they were bundling everything. And they had two snow shovels. And I got them for $7.50 for both of them. And I thought, you know, we need snow shovels. So when you buy something, they bring it to you. And you sit there with it. I mean, you got stuff everywhere. And so she brings those snow shovels to me, and I'm like, where in, because they got church pews, you sit in church pews, and I'm like, where in the world am I going to put these snow shovels? My sister and niece were out smoking, and I'm sitting there. So she brings them and puts them in front of me, and they're resting, the handles are resting on my shoulder, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, my sister and niece came back in, and they were like, what in the world happened while we were gone? And so my niece is trying to get by these snow shovels, you know, and because she's sitting on this side of me and my sister's on this side of me. So during that commotion, those butter dishes go up, and I didn't even see them. I didn't even see that they sold them. I didn't even, you know, and I looked up, you know, well, I told the owner of the auction, he was standing in front of me, and I said, do you think you can get these snow shovels and take them in the, so they took them in the back and out of my way. But, you know, I'm sitting there with these snow shovels. So the butter dishes, I look up on the table and they're gone. And I'm like, where did the butter dishes go? And my sister's like, I don't know, I wasn't even here. And I said, well, where? So I asked the lady behind us, I said, where did the butter dishes go? And she said, they just sold them. And I said, they just sold them? And she said, yeah. I said, who got them? And it was the lady behind her. And I said, how much did you get them for? And she said, $5 for both of them. The two things that I wanted. And they go for $5. I was so aggravated. I was so aggravated. But anyway, I got some good stuff. I did. I just, you know, I wish I'd have known about this and know how it was going to play out, because I would have saved my pennies, and I would have went out there with a lot more stuff than I did. But I don't have room. You know, I don't have room to put things. So I have to be very careful about what I buy. But, oh my goodness, it was an experience. They're going to have another one in 4 weeks. So, you know, those are one-shot things. You know, you hardly ever come up on that. Y'all, a Singer sewing machine. It was an older one with a cabinet. Not the, you know, the old type, but maybe 90s or early 2000s, you know. A Singer with cabinet, $2. $2. I kid y'all not. Those quilts, hand quilted stuff, patchwork. They had a wedding ring quilt, between $20 and $35 a piece. I'm not kidding you. Crazy, crazy, craziness. But anyway, it was amazing. It was an amazing thing. But onward. I'm going down way too far. But tea party yesterday, we had a good time. We did. I did a bunch of snacks, and one of my other nieces got to come. So I had my sister, my two nieces, and my two grandnieces. So that was a lot of fun. I've got one sister and 2 more nieces to get to come, and I'm going to be happy when they're all here. But we had a good time. We had a good day, and I made that bittersweet herb farm dip that my sister loves. And I mean, she said I could eat this stuff by the spoonful. It was a good day. Okay, moving on. Giveaway. Oh my goodness, I left it in the room. Hang on. Sorry about that. Okay, first of all, Rosewood Manor, Kathy Newhart, need to hear from you, hun, so I can get your chart to you, okay? Watch my last video, and Kathy Newhart is the one this belongs to, but I haven't heard from her. So give me I'll put my email below. That's something people have started doing, so I think it's a great idea. So my email is going to be below. And last week, I offered this June 2005 issue of Stony Creek Cross Stitch Magazine. And the winner is Lisa 1968. So Lisa, if you will email me with your address, or you can also send me a message on Instagram. I'm at Tranquil Stitches, and I'll get this magazine to you. So congratulations, Lisa. Okay, I have a previous finish to show you. I did this one last year. This is Threadwork Primitives Beggar's Night. I absolutely love these. There's a series of them, and I'm going to be doing the rest of them. But this is my Beggar's Night. I love that white pumpkin. So cool. That crow is just fabulous. I stitched it on a 35 count. That can't be right. That can't be 35 count. No way. Probably 25. It says 35. Sheep straw. I don't think that's 35. I think that's mislabeled. Anyway, but it's sheep straw. Isn't that pretty? So, pretty proud of that one. Okay. That's my previous finish. The one whip monogamous stitching this week. Union Forever. I said I was going to try to finish it, and I did focus on it, but I didn't finish it. Blackbird Designs. So here's where I got to on this one. I mean, I got quite a bit done, but I didn't finish it. It's looking good. I'm loving those colors. That's Havana, Weeks Havana, and Swamp Water and Bark, I think. And then this is a Victorian motto that I'm using for the flowers. But hopefully this week that puppy will be done. And I played around on my sewing machine this week, and I did a little FFO. I finished this, I stitched this one years ago. It's one of those Aury, A-U-R-Y, T-M, Patriotic Heart. And this is the 2009. They came out with one for each year, and they were freebies, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of them are still out there. I looked it up to find out, see if I could find out which year it is, and I saw a lot of them out there. So it's a Quaker Heart, and I just put this little backing on it. And I need to practice. You know, I watched Fauna's tutorial where she did Farmhouse Christmas, those pillows, and I bought some of that white quilting fabric that she uses, and I just wanted to practice, and this one I thought would be good for that. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out, and I've got to work on my whip stitch because I need to figure out, you know, I'll get better. I'll get better. But I like it. It's just a little FFO. And then I play with my sewing machine. So let me show you what I did. This was my very first bag. I was using the ruler totally wrong. The actual cutting mat I was using to measure. Cutting the fabric's the hardest part for me. That I struggled with that. You know, I can't see through the fabric to the line, so I had to figure out the best way to do it. And I used the ruler completely wrong. I was lining up on the 1 inch mark instead of the 0 mark, so everything was an inch off. You know, just noob, such a noob. But this was my first one. I want to show y'all Look at that. Look. Let me see. It's like, I don't know where I was going. I was like, what do I do? You know what I did? I thought I could go as fast as Vonna does. I thought I could just, you know, zip the... No. 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 And I was trying to push the fabric through and pull it, and, you know, Bernice said, that's what you're doing wrong. You can't push or pull. Let the machine do it. And slow down. And that's, I figured it out. I mean, I slowed down. I took my foot, you know, it was like lead foot granny here, you know, on that pedal. So I let up on that gas and I slowed down, and I did much, much better. So, and I like this. See, oh, good. See the blue, see how it sparkles? This was really inexpensive little fabric. I got those little fat quarters at Walmart just to practice with, and so I just zipped it up. And I told Wendy and my BFF, you know, and Victoria, I was talking to her, and I said, you know, the zipper works and nothing falls out, so I'm calling it a success. But that was my first one. Now my second one, I got better. I got better at the second one. This was my second one. This is Betty Boop. And then the stitches are a lot straighter on that one. Still not perfect, nowhere near perfect, but they're a lot straighter. I made this little charm with the purse on it. Zipper pull and the well, zipper works and nothing falls out. Another success. And then I made this one. And I love this, the way that worked out. I did that on purpose. I really did. But I had no idea if it was going to work. But it worked out. And this also worked out. Check that out. Right in the middle of the bag. So, I love that one. Pink, pink, pink. And then this is the last one I made. Tea time. I tried that here, but it was a little too wide. But, this fabric is not cotton. It's like a poly blend, so it slipped a little on me. And so I'm, you know, the seams on this one are not as straight as my third bag because, you know, it's a different fabric. But it, you know, still, I think I did pretty good. So I like them. And I'm glad now that I can start using them. So, and I'm going to make some more. When we went to Walmart, my sister picked out some fabric. She wants me to make her one. So, she picked out some puppy dog fabric. So, I'm going to make her one. Retail therapy. I have to show y'all this. This, absolutely amazing. Look. Look at that bag. Y'all, look at that tassel. Handmade tassel. Look. Is that not beautiful? Okay. I kind of commissioned this bag. This will hold my Hawk Run Hollow Village project for our stitch along in October. And guess who made it? Victoria from Victoria's Creative Crafts. She is making these, and she has also opened up her own Etsy store. And she's got bags out there. She's got the vinyl bags as well. Y'all, the quality of this bag, she's been sewing for years and years. This chick has got it down. She's amazing. it's heavy. You know, it's so just well made and sturdy and just beautiful. And she's got some different fabric options, and she makes you a little tassel to match. Absolutely beautiful. So if you'd like a bag, and it's big enough, look, it's, you know, you're not going to get one to hold you know, a Q-snap that's big enough to accommodate that pattern. So, you know, but this is absolutely perfect for me for my Hawk Run Hollow. Victoria's Creative Crafts, I'll link her below, and I'll link her Etsy shop as well. She just started with Etsy, so she's got a few bags out there, but if you want one, you know, made a certain way, or, you know, talk to her about fabrics, or you know, she'll custom make you a bag if you want to, if you want her to. I'm sure, because she did for me. So if you want a good Hawk Run Hollow bag for your stitch along this October, think about Victoria, because you won't be sorry. These are beautiful, beautiful bags. So I'm excited about that. I'm ready to go with that. Well, I haven't got my chart yet. I'll get that. Okay. Now, this next segment is a figment of your imagination. You're all mass hallucinating. Because remember I said I wasn't going to buy any more stash or keep it very limited. So I didn't. So y'all were all mass hallucinating right now. Okay? All right. Jen's Stitching Niche. Shakespeare's Peddler. Teresa. Y'all. Y'all know, right? She was having a sale, a clearance on some of Teresa's patterns. I was like, oh. So, Tread Lightly. Jog on, the footpath way. A Winter's Tale. Crinkle, crinkle. Take it out so you can see it better. I should have done that already. I'm so bad. Look, it's like, you can do it all as one piece if you want, or you can break it up like that. Fabulous. Love it. And then, I say and then a lot too, don't I? I cut down on the ums, but I think I'm moved to and then. And then, the next object of your imagination. Love the Spring. Okay. To give Teresa her proper due on my video, I'm getting ready to sing. And bonus points for anybody who can tell me what movie this is from. Okay? Now, y'all know I'm not a movie buff. I've watched very, very few movies. I could probably list the movies that I've watched, probably on my fingers and toes, because I'm not a movie buff at all. But this one, I think every one of y'all are going to know this. In the springtime, the only pretty ring time, birds sing, hey ding, a ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Anybody recognize that? My bad, I'm not a singer. I'm not a finisher, and I'm not a singer. Can't read that poem without singing it. Next week, if nobody answers me on what movie that's from, I'll tell y'all. And Fractor Bird. These are limited. She done, I think she said 100 and sent them to Jen, so these are limited. And it comes with the little spool and the floss and the, I think that's jute. Hand-dyed threads, a hand-stained wooden spool, and natural jute for embellishment. So, I love him. I love him. So, she sent me a little Halloween freebie. Isn't that cute? That's gonna happen. Who did this? Raise the roof. Yep. Okay. The next figment of your imagination. Oh, what? Before I forget, a couple of you asked me about the vinyl that I use for my bags. I got the premium vinyl. It's on, at my Walmart. It's on a big, huge roll, like you know, like if you're buying vinyl floor at Lowe's, you know, a big roll like that, right behind the cutting station. And there's different kinds of vinyl you can get, and then on the bottom sheet they've got the quilting cotton on rolls there. But I found it right behind the cutting station on a big roll, and they just take the roll off and cut your yardage and then stick the roll back up there. So, and there's different grades of vinyl, but I wanted a good heavy one, so I got the premium, and it's only $4 a yard, so that's not bad. Okay, the next purchase, retail therapy. I got a snag nabbit from this order's from 123 Stitch, and I was going to try this out because I do have a problem with the ends. I'm using the pin stitch method now a lot, and I'm dragging the ends, the tails in with my next few stitches. So I thought maybe I'd try this to see if it helps. Next, next, Mary One by Plum Street. Bowl full of Marys. Love that one. Crinkle, crinkle. Next, Beggar's Fourth. I think there's 4 of these, I think. Isn't that cool? Beggar's Fourth, and those are, like I said, threadwork primitives. Let me see if I can show this one in the, without having to take it out. This is Beggar's Christmas. Isn't that cool? The only one that I need now, I believe, is Beggar's Valentine. And I'll get that one. Isn't that cool? And then I got Festive Little Fobs Americana, but it's back ordered, so I'll get that. And then I was on looking around on eBay to see what I could see. And Bear went over the mountain. I went over to eBay. Blue Ribbon Designs. This is Volume 1, Patriotic Wishes. And I have so many of these. I've got Halloween, I've got Easter, I've got Valentine, I've got several Christmas ones, and I didn't have the patriotic ones, so I got this one. And at some point I'll show you guys the finishes I have of the Christmas ones of these. A couple, there's different volumes of the Christmas. Then I got Volume 2, Patriotic. Love it, love it, love it. So, okay, back to reality. Okay. Other people do, I think, what they call what I'm all into. And, you know, I'm not copying people, but I just wanted to tell y'all what I found this week that I really, really like. I burn tarts, you know, candle tarts. I've burned candle tarts for years and years. And I used to buy Yankee, and they were, when I was buying them, they were like $1 a piece, and now they've gone up, I think, well over $1 a piece. And you have to, they're not at Walmart, you know, but Walmart has Better Homes and Gardens, which I actually like better than Yankee. I actually like these better. They've got Sensations and another brand too, Walmart, but I don't, they're not as good. The Better Homes and Gardens are my favorite. They're stronger, they scent your, I mean, they scent my whole house, seriously. I wish I could smell my house right now. But anyway, they've got these are new. This is aromatherapy. And this one is Is that vetiver? I've never heard of that. Vetiver and lemon. Which I like anything lemon. Anything lemon. You know, I love this. And geranium and patchouli. And then blackcurrant and bay. And, you know, they're not like hazelnut and orange blossom and, you know, lilac and the regular tarts that you can buy. But these are just more herby and, you know, and they're actually aromatherapy. That's what, and oh my gosh, they're fabulous. They're absolutely fabulous. So if you see these, try one and see what you think. But they're wonderful. Now, I don't burn them when I'm cooking because obviously you don't want those. But when, you know, in the morning I'll light one and it'll scent my house all day, and it's just, I love them. I absolutely love them. And you don't have to invest in a big jar candle that you got 1 cent and that's it, you know, for burn for hours and hours and hours. That's why I love these with the little tea lights, because after 3 hours the tea lights burn out and you're good to go. And we got some Chinese food. Well, I can't really call it Chinese food because not high quality at all, but it's gone downhill since I remember. But anyway, my fortune, which will go in my orc jar, says love lights up the world. Sweet. You know what my husband said? And I'm going to leave y'all with this. I've got a little bit of a slideshow that I put together for you. We've walked Penny Bella a couple evenings this week, and I took some pictures that I thought you guys, and kind of the theme to go along with Kitten Stitcher's Cheap and Cheerful, I think last week, was something old looking, you know, finding the beauty in something old. And I love that because I mean, days gone by and things that are left over that has seen happier days, that makes me very happy. And finding beauty in things that other people consider ugly, you know, it's not ugly to me. It's makes me sit and wonder back in when it was brand new, like houses that are sitting empty and in disrepair right now, you know, wondering what family grew up there and the happiness, that laughter that was in that house at one time, and now it's just lonely. It chokes me up a little bit. But I've got some pictures and I'm hoping that you'll see the beauty in those. My husband's fortune, and I'm going to leave y'all with this, and I'll see you next week. Happy stitching. Let's see now. If a turtle doesn't have a shell, is it naked or homeless?